Purpose of this is twofold, maybe even three. One, we want dinner. Two, people seem to be a bit confused on how much draw there is in electrical stuff for off-grid. They also don't seem to get the difference between AC, DC, watts, amps, volts, things like that. So what I've got today is an awesome power bank. The reason this is good for people that don't understand so much, I know there's lots of you that do understand, but there's a lot of beginners as well. Not so much beginners, but just aren't aware of power consumption. The reason this is good is the display of this power bank tells you exactly how much you're drawing, or how much it's charging, and how many hours left in that state it will last. So you can run something insanely high ampage, like this toaster. Okay, this is nearly 1,000 watts. Anytime you're heating via electric, you are using a lot of power, especially when it's mains, because you're converting it to 240 volt AC, which there's obviously a loss, and then you're going to cook. So let's get this thing on, and we'll give you an idea of how long, one, this takes to warm up, and two, I'll show you the displays in close of what it's actually drawing and how it's using it, which I find quite interesting. Might be because I'm a bit of a geek like that, but if you keep your eye on stuff like this, and you then know how long a phone and what a phone takes, your cameras, your heating things, you can work out what you actually need over the space of 2, 3, 4 days. Something like this, you can charge it off of mains. I think this is the fastest charging power bank on the market. So from flat, this will charge in around 2 hours. I've not had it totally flat. It turned up to me 50% and it took an hour. So what they say on the tin does kind of work out. Gives you a full display. You can do fast charge, slow charge, because obviously battery life, the more you hammer these things, the less they're going to last you. But this is an absolute tank. An absolute tank. This is, as power banks go, this is the, what would you compare it to? I'd say the Bentley, but I don't know if that's the most reliable, but it is quality. It is high end. Right, so problem I've got, it's freezing today. You probably can't tell, but cutting the butter up, it's not even melting. Can't spread it or anything, so we're just gonna have to use heat. Let's get this thing fired up, and we'll see how long it actually takes. So we're gonna fire this up now, and as you can see, this is cold. Put my hand on it, let it cool down from the last one. Straight away, 666 watts. And what it's telling us here is, we've got a pointer, so we've got, this is the wattage that's going out, this is what state the battery's in, and this is how long you've got if you were running it at this kind of pace. As this heats up, you'll see the wattage go down. If you were on charge as well, obviously the input would be putting some in. Just red hot. Picking some heat up now already. So what this will be doing is, this is using way more power than what it would normally. If this was summer or you were in a warm country, this isn't going to battle so hard. We've now got a metal plate with an element underneath it trying to stay warm and heat up, where, let's face it, it's cold out here. We're just above freezing. It's taking more. Right, so there we go. It's been 2 or 3 minutes now, maybe a little bit longer. We've got the green light, so what we're going to do, let's get the toasty on here. So because it's so cold, the butter's not actually in any way melting. So we've had to put a little bit on here to start. I'm going to have to try and move this round a little bit. We're improvising. I'm going to do a far better video than this on this power bank, but it's just, we're out for the day. We're hungry. It's in the van. I've got the hot plate. Why wouldn't you have a go? No butter on that one. We're going to have to flip this, switch this, all the rest of it. There we go. And so far, we've got 38 minutes. Oh, there we go, it's kicking in again. so the heating element's kicked in again, so we've got 1 hour on 94%. So what this does, it kind of gives you an idea now. If it's saying 1 hour, 94%, we're using, again, 660 some watts, which that's a bit less than what this is advertised actually, which is a bonus. It also means this can go in the Land Rover as well. Over. Oh, this is starting to look good, sweetheart.
It looks like it's going to be a flat pancake. Because it's already flat. Yay! We're making pancakes.
So again now, the element's kicked off because it's up to temperature. We've got 0 watts going out and it's going up to 34 hours, 35 hours. We know that's not true, but it gives you an idea. One of the main things that I'd say about this is we're coming up to energy crisis, I think personally. You've got the gas supplies coming through Ukraine, you know what's happening over there. You've got electricity issues, I think we're going to have some sort of cyber attack because I'm a paranoid nutter. If you've got one of these in your house, the solar panel facing south charging through the day, you've got enough here to run, I don't know, everybody's phone. Get everybody's phone charged up, get the kids' tablets charged up. You could put a telly on with a DVD player on if you really wanted to, just for a bit of entertainment, break things up. You could look at powering something like a small fridge to make sure your food doesn't go off. Me personally, the power goes out, I can put the backup generator on, and I've got electric. But that again is a resource that runs out because it's petrol. Eventually I'd like a diesel one, but hey ho. The way I look at it now with all these power banks that I'm getting sent out, this is a way of me procuring my own energy from the sunshine. This time of year is terrible, but you're still getting some. The lithium batteries in here will take any kind of charge. They'll absorb something, and then from there you've got more, haven't you? Nobody wants to sit in the dark with nothing to do, no lights on, no phones, no nothing like that. So it's one thing to bear in mind. You know, when we have these storms, the flooding, there's people up north in that last storm they've got power off for weeks on end. What are they doing on a night and a weekend if they haven't like bugged out and gone somewhere else? It's just something to bear in mind. It's one more step before you have to leave your home with your family. That's my kind of look on it. This stuff's bagging for overland applications and things like that, but for me more, it's a safety net for the house. So we're at 90% now. Cheese toasty.
It's flat like a pancake.
Ooh, this is looking good. So where we're at now, second one on the go. We've got one already, and we're at 86%.
Yummy. My hand.
They're hot. Okay, go munch.
Okay, bye bye.
So there we go. We've used just below, well, we've used just over 10% to make a toasty in 2-3 degree heat off of a hot plate. I don't think you're going to power anything higher than this off this, so it kind of gives you an idea of how much oomph a power bank, a modern power bank, a high quality one will give you. It's excessive, I know, but it'll do it. I mean, if you can power that for 15-20 minutes, you can charge phones days on days on days on days. And this is just an example. Looking at the unit now, I mean, it's nice. It's very nice. There's no getting around that. The top of it's lovely. The only thing, quite surprised at this, it's a nice tray. See how nothing falls off? I would have expected a wireless charger, you know, on top, so you can put that on and it'll charge. But either way, it makes a nice little shelf for whatever you're charging. Pop it on, straight in there, kicks in automatically. Space. So what we're going to do now, while I have my munch, we're going to move this camera around. I'm going to show you a few of the items. One of them being the solar panel. This is the nicest solar panel I have seen. The other one I've got is nice because the way that they fold out, but the quality of the bag with the waterproof zips and little things like that, I'm impressed. There's it's a difficult one, this, because you wouldn't believe how many emails I get with people saying, can we send you, can we send you, can we send you, and I probably only take 10% of those. Reason being is, one, I don't want to turn into a review channel, I don't want to do tabletop reviews. However, I will do stuff that, one, is useful to me, so it's useful to you if you want to do the same thing, and two, if it's actually decent. These are bloody decent. Another couple of minutes, we're on 84%. It's showing 27 hours, but it won't be. And at the minute, I'm charging my phone, and it's showing that there's a 6-watt draw. So with the phone in, the elements just kick back in, but with the phone in, it's 6 watts. So that tells you that this power plate is taking 100 times more energy to charge, to power, than my phone is charging. Apologies about the weird kind of workbench thing I've got going on here. I've come to the yard today and Johnny's filled it with all his trailers and bits and pieces, so I'm guessing he's doing some shuffling around, so I've got no room to film, if you're wondering why I'm here on this makeshift kind of table. It's not first choice, but I'm working with what I've got. I can't complain too much. He's probably put all his crap in here because he's tidying over there, but it swings and roundabouts. It helps me out. When I want the flatbed taking off this, he's got a crane. Do you know what I mean? So I'd say that was about done. So again, we're at 600 odd watts. We'll unplug from the back. Boom. Down to that. We'll plug the phone on charge while we're recording, and you'll see what this is using. So I don't know what it is. A cheese toasty on a cold day. It's the little things. So what we're looking at here, so this is the kind of the low power side, the information side. So as you can see here, you've got a clear display of everything that you want to see. You've got your 12 volt output, 6 volt outputs for your USB. You've even got a USB-C charging point there, which is for your more modern stuff like your iPads, GoPros, things like that. Rear of the unit, you've got your high power section. So you've got your 12 volt cigarette style lighter, old school, nice tight fit. Get that bung out there, there you go. You've also got two 230 volt outlets. Okay, that's your mains. You've got a lift up panel here where you've got your charger to charge in from the mains, a switch here for fast or slow charge. Obviously the slow charge will take longer, however it's better for the battery's long-term life. Then you've also got the input for the solar. We'll show you the solar, beautiful bit of kit. This is also, which I haven't seen before from any other power bank kind of setup, it's got its own app to go onto your phone, which it sounds gimmicky, but if you've got this mounted somewhere, like in a vehicle, in a trailer, in a setup, that kind of thing, and you don't want to go to the screen all the time, you can take a look and see what's going on. You can see what's happening, how much power you've got left, and your runtime. Because like I say, on this, that is an absolutely awesome feature to say. If you carry on at this kind of usage, you will only have X amount of hours left. Like for now, it's showing 79%, 57 hours. Okay, let's turn this off and then turn it back on again. There you go. Now that I've turned the inverter off, it's just clever kit, very clever kit. Like I said, this is the bag that you get. Very nice. It's got a bit of a protective layer to it. It's got the other little carabiners so you can hang the thing up, hang it all off. The unit itself is 4 of these small panels, as you can see here. These are the standard solar panel outputs. So you could plug a bigger panel in, you could plug your vehicle in, anything like that, and then what they do, they give you a little adapter piece which then goes into here. So all in all, is very impressive. I do prefer the other style where it's just 2 to kind of do it. I think they expect you to like hang this up so you could either chuck it on the roof, which would be the best option, or if the sun was facing this way, you could hang it up either way, like so. One thing that they didn't supply, which I'm quite surprised at, is all the electrical bits and connections came in this nice little box. However, there isn't like a little material, like it's a really nice pouch that the solar panel comes in. It'd have been lovely if all the little electrical connections, you know, all your little solar charging leads and all the rest of it, would have had another little pouch that attached to it that you could just clip to the actual bag, to the actual bank itself, or even one, I don't know, just something, because this is the kind of thing where you'll put it down and because it's not got a place to live, you end up losing it. So, sorry, I keep screens here. Well, camera's here, screen's there, so I keep looking across to there. So if you don't think I'm making eye contact, apologise. So yeah, that would have been nice. So what you can see here, charging up all the tools as I'm working. I've always got one battery on charge, and from the display here, this is the beauty of this one, is I'm at 76% battery still, so I've not charged it up since we did the cooking. The output is 45 to 46 watts. It's varying slightly, and that will give me 10 hours. So I can be charging these 18 volt batteries, and what you need to bear in mind is these aren't 18 volt, well, they are 18 volt DC, however they require 240 volt AC to charge them, which is so inefficient, these chargers, it's unreal, but that's just because it's 18 volts. So these will zap a lot of other smaller battery banks or things like that, but the best thing with this is you can clearly see on the screen 10 hours charge time if I'm running non-stop like this. And let's face it, half the time you crack on with your work, it fully charges up and sits there, so you're going to get on 3/4 of a battery over a day's work unless you're doing really long hours. I know that I can be running power tools all day now, charging my phone, charging the camera that I'm filming on, which is what I'm doing. I've cooked dinner on a hot plate at 2 degrees, and it's smashing on. Like I say, it's the biggest thing with this though is that little display that says how long you've got left, because I've worked with electrics and batteries for the last 20 years, but for someone that doesn't do it, I mean, I'm amused by it, so someone that doesn't do it is going to be really thankful that he's got that feature on, because it's ideal that you can see something going down, and that works absolutely fine. But for teaching yourself how thirsty a piece of equipment is, the timer and the output, it's really handy. One other small thing that you can bear in mind from this is at the minute we're using 46 watts. It's literally days before Christmas now. There is no sun, it's all cloud cover, there's nothing there. But, and there's the big but, if it was a clear sunny day, there'd actually be more solar going in than what's coming out charging these batteries. So I'm saying this will run for 10 hours charging these batteries. It will run indefinitely if there was actually sun out today, and that's one of the main things that I've got a big thing for these, for off-grid. This, to me, I mean, it's a massively useful tool as someone that's working in a compound that hasn't got electric yet, and it also massively helps me for when I'm not right next to my vehicle to charge off my vehicle. This, for someone that's running a multi-purpose van like myself, tradesman, where I can, you know, have it as a work van through the week, but on the weekend I can still chuck this in and I can still live out of a swag under a tarp, that kind of thing, and I've got all the power in the world to charge my YouTube gear up, or, you know, if the little one comes with, I can put an electric blanket in a swag, you know, keep it nice and toasty warm, and I'd be happy to run an electric blanket off that. I'd be happy to run a diesel heater off that, and I'd be happy to run a fridge off that all at once. It's not going to last forever doing it like that, but at the same time, it gives you the option, and that's the biggest thing with stuff like this, is options, options, options. Yeah, little things like that make the difference between persevering through. I mean, we can all go out with just a basher and basic gear and lick the moss off of a rock. Anyone can rough it. There's no great skill in roughing it. It's how you can do it efficiently. I'm not saying go glamping with your inflatable furniture and things like that, but it's cherry picking the nicer bits of kit so that when you go out, you've got what you need, you're comfortable, but without being too cluttered, I'd say. And it's got to be stuff that's going to last you. And yeah, I think this will. So as always, there'll be a link in the description below if you're interested in one of these. As well as that, I'm also accumulating quite a few of these power banks now, so I'm going to do a bit of a head-to-head on them as well. So I think this is the highest quality one, but I also think it's the highest priced as well. So it depends what budget you run into, which one suits you best. All I can do is show you multiple different ones, give you the options, and then you can make your own informed decision from there. I'm not going to say go buy this, 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 or this, because at the end of the day, everybody's different. Everyone has their own usages. So I'll give you the info to make your own decision. So yeah. This has been interesting to you. All the links and everything are down below for the power bank, bits and pieces. Have a look through the previous videos while it's Christmas and you're sat at home, especially. I don't know, I think when we had the really, really big woodland, I do like them videos and I would like to do those again. So yeah, any ideas for future videos, anything like that, give us a shout. Thank you very much if you got this far as well. Thank you very much for your support. It's always appreciated. I do see quite a lot of the it takes me a while for it to click in, but you start to see the same people commenting all the time again. It's really nice that there's a support there. There's some of them for years and years and years, which thank you, because I know what it's like when you're on YouTube and stuff and you follow channels and sometimes it gets a bit samey. I try to break it up for people. So yeah, thanks if you're still here, because I know it's easy to get bored. Even with good channels I get bored of sometimes and then go back a few months later. And yeah, right, gonna get off. So we've had a full day, we've had cooking, we've had this non-stop charging all day, and we're still at 28%. We've got 3 hours left if we carry on. I've also had the GoPro and my phone on charge for a couple of hours as well. So yeah, just above freezing. That ain't bad, is it?